Okay, today is the 23rd of August, 2026. Time now is 8:33 p.m. So basically, today I've got something I really, really want to explore. And that is something close to my heart. My heart. Yeah, something close to my heart. Do you know what that is, guys? You don't know. Basically, I'm experimenting for killer drones. I want to build my own killer drone. Can be a kamikaze drone or what's it called? A hornet drone or hornets drone? Homing drone. Homing drone. A kamikaze drone, the principle is simple. Buy a drone, cheap, non-commercial cheap drones, buy it in swarms, and then build the firmware interface and reflash the BIOS, basic input output system, reflash it, remove it, tear it from the firmware hardware, and then build a new drone to make it a killer drone. So this is how you can convert a regular drone to a killer drone. This project, guys, will be revolutionary. Just delete the firmware interface and reflash it, guys. Refirmware it, Just make sure to like that it works. So the thing I'm saying is that for threat modeling, you can get a drone, be like, because you want to rip the firmware out of the system, making you rebuild the whole firmware. But the drone's gonna be intact. And when you expose it to the world, it's gonna be epic. So this homing drone or kamikaze drone, you rip out the firmware interface and you install your own, and then you have created something that is deadly even by touch, even because it's not been quality assured, even something that's butt ready. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna go to Nigeria for this project, not the UK, because in UK everyone's building drones in Nigeria right now. I'm gonna try to build a homing drone and a kamikaze drone. My real insights about the threat modeling, like knowing when someone has a gun or knife or surveillance. Surveillance is very good for drone surveillance. You know, instead of when people have surveillance, drone can see everything and anything in the sky. You know, just you know, because I already made a law on the orbit room, we can do that. OB Nexus, we can rip out your firmware and put our own. That's how that's our problem. We want to legally, but I want to tell you we are a constitution. You cannot file a lawsuit against us. Go start your own legislation. But you have to recognize, so cannot I'll tell you with some entity, you cannot sue us. That's the deal. So that's why I said today, it's such a cool idea because if I can do this in my life, I've got something I can do for fun. Not kill people, but or kill animals, kill anything. Something that I can tuck away in case the day I need it. But just like any other project in the world, you can use it. Put a bottle down, the cat's not drinking it. Yeah. So again, I'll say it again. Buy a drone, take the firmware, reflash into the BIOS, reflash it to the BIOS, reflash the BIOS, like remove the BIOS and reflash it, like make it your own BIOS system. And you got a mainframe for combat. That's what you gotta do, guys. That's how drones are going to. I believe that's what they're doing in Ukraine right now, but I don't believe it. So, basically, you get war drones and you get cheap drones you can install firmware on. And the firmware is used to control the drones. So, you get a drone operator that will, like, literally be controlling drone. I like the ideas, but I'm really building something here that's sustainable. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Threat modeling, surveillance, drones. Buy a cheap drone, reflash the firmware interface, and you now go to solve a killer drone, which you have to add the software on. You buy a simple answers. You basically be your own BIOS.